You know, some people age like a fine wine, and some people age like a can of special brew left on a hot windowsill. Whichever one you are, get ready to talk about those pesky little emotions of yours, because it's time for another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings. Please welcome your host, Sam Lake. It was me the whole time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings, the show where me and a wonderful guest enjoy a beverage of their choice and talk about something that they're passionate about and find out how it connects to their feelings. And today I'm joined by the rather wonderful Matt Stewart.
Thanks so much for having me. What a pleasure it is to be here.
Thank you so much. And what an honour for you to make this trip on this day in this economy.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's snowing outside, but it's lovely in here.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm almost going to have to lay down one more, but I don't have any more layers to go. Well, I could go like you, shoes off.
I've got shoes off because my feet got wet. Stood in a big icy puddle.
Should I not have said that?
No,
but I mean, I think that could really work for the algorithms. There's a big foot community out there online.
Oh.
If you show a bit of them,
I'd rather appeal to
spike.
the foot community than the puddle community.
Yes, true.
They're freaks.
But imagine if you could get them both in. The yin and the yang.
Oh, that Venn diagram.
That hardly touches, interestingly.
But just in the middle, just the tiniest little puddle.
Is you.
It's just me. It's just me and my damp souls. Apart from maybe an interesting climate today, are you enjoying Edinburgh? I assume you've been here before.
I've been here a few times. I love it. It's so pretty. It's a very pretty city. Maybe one of the prettiest.
Do you think?
Yeah. Don't you reckon?
You're going to have to go to other cities.
It's like walking around a fairy tale. And now that the Christmas lights are up, I don't know, am I dating this too badly with the snow talking?
No. This is absolutely fine. It is, well, I'll say it. It's the end of November. I'm sorry. Sorry if you can't say that anymore.
Can't say anything anymore.
But the Christmas market has just opened here.
Oh, yeah.
And that is...
It's going off. Yeah, beautiful.
Yes, that's what that means.
Yeah.
It's a sign of love.
Yeah, there's no bigger sign of love than... That's like the climax of love, really, in some ways.
Oh, the only way, I think.
Self-love, I
guess. So we've got you a beverage.
Yes.
Gregg's Finest.
Yeah, thank you so much for getting Gregg's as well. I didn't specify Gregg's, but I was hoping for Gregg's.
Yeah, we're always hoping for Gregg's. What they can do with pastry, imagine what they can do with fresh juices. It's an orange juice.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Scotland, I imagine you have quite a big orange growing industry up here.
This is a little joke.
A little joke. I might do a few little jokes today if that's okay.
Please don't. I won't recognise them. I've never laughed and I don't want to start now.
I'll do big winks if that helps.
Oh, I think we need to bring the wink back.
Yeah, okay.
But like the obvious wink.
I can only do obvious winks. I've got to really commit to the wink.
Oh, no,
otherwise
that's
it might not
gorgeous.
even happen.
That's lovely. I love a huge wink. I do.
Do you have the ability to add sound effects and like sparks in post? Well, I'll just do one in case.
I hope we don't get the wrong noise and accidentally put like a Martin Luther King speech over it or something.
I think that'd be awesome, actually. Inspiring and winking. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe in human rights. No, you're right. That could undermine the message a little.
It could a little.
Yeah.
Just a tad. But so it's an orange juice.
Yeah.
And I haven't checked. Pulp in? Pulp out?
I could go either way, but if I was going to preference one, I'd go pulp in.
You pulp in. You like the bits.
Yeah. I love how Scottish people and maybe English people as well.
Which one do you think I am?
Oh my God, talk a little more again.
I am English.
Yeah, English, of course. I am not good with accents, which does get you in trouble. But when in doubt, don't say English because that's the one that will offend. English people don't really mind if you say Northern Irish and they say, no, Bristol. But the other way around, it is not
troubling.
Ideal. It is.
It's not ideal.
It's troubling. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful use of that word.
So we're doing, I believe, and I hate to say it, I do believe that looks smooth to me.
Yeah. No, I don't mind smooth. And when I was asked what drink I wanted, it was in the morning. I was a little hungover, and that's when I'm really craving orange juice.
Fair enough. Now, do you see it as like a healthy thing, like
I don't know.
restorative?
I guess so, but it's not like this isn't a mind thing. This is sort of like a deep down subconscious craving. I'll dream of it. If I'm hungover or if I had a big night,
You'll dream of orange
I'll dream of
juice.
sculling orange juice, like liters of it. And then I wake up, I realize that I'm dehydrated or whatever.
Would you not, if you actually did that, would you not get the trots?
The trots.
Like a little...
Like believing in communism. Is that what? I don't know what.
Yeah.
The Trotskys.
Yeah. You drink a little OJ and you go like, Ho Chi Minh, not a bad guy. Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah.
Too much vitamin C.
Too much
Seafood.
vitamin communism. No, I mean the runs.
No, I mean maybe, but I guess
It's a lot of fibre.
I guess I'd get the dream trots if I'm sculling, because I don't actually do it.
Yeah.
I don't think this will be too much, but the fine print would say, wouldn't it? Too much consumption
In
may
this
have a
country,
laxative effect.
I don't think it would.
No, they wouldn't do that. They
They'd
don't
let
warn you of things like that.
They'd let you catch yourself short.
Is this the land of the free? I never knew.
In some ways.
It's a nanny state, Australia. They'll put fine print on everything. Well, just in case you're wondering, you might shit yourself if you have too many bits of chewing gum, stuff like that.
No, is that a thing? You get the shits.
It won't say you'll shit. It'll say
Really?
may cause a laxative effect.
I'm learning
Check the fine
a
print.
lot today.
Yeah.
I'm really learning a lot. Well, we've given you the mug that has a stick of butter on a horse.
Oh, great.
Self-explanatory.
Thank you so much.
And I've got auto glass repair, auto glass replace. So you enjoy.
Cheers.
Have a sip of that.
Oh yeah,
And like
oh my god, that is thick,
crisp.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think it's a thick?
That is. Oh, that's a. They've concentrated the goodness in this, I reckon.
I think that's why it's from concentrate. Do you think?
Is it weird to be in such an orange growing mecca like Edinburgh and have concentrate? Is that because it feels like you should be getting them fresh?
It's still from oranges.
Yeah, at one point.
Well, yeah.
What
do you mean?
I don't understand what concentrate means, but it doesn't mean they would have gone through quite a process.
I saw a TikTok about this.
Oh, great.
From concentrate is basically you squeeze the juice, you make the juice, and then to make it go a little further, you're essentially like watering it down a little bit.
Right.
But I think they did like some tests on like if you get like freshly squeezed versus from concentrate, it's basically the same amount of like orange in both.
Okay.
It's all a big scam from Big Orange. I know.
Curious. What would the closest orange growing community be?
In Scotland.
From here. It's probably Spain, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah. Isn't Valencia
that's one of the key juicing oranges.
They love a juice.
Yeah.
They actually do.
I remember reading, and I never read deeply. I don't actually watch the TED Talk. I'll read the title of it and sort of glean the rest from there.
Oh, if they can't get the message across in the title, no.
What,
What's the point? What are we doing?
Are you good
here?
at communication? No, I don't think so.
I can see why this was only a TEDx.
But I read at one point that Australian producers were encouraged to move to Valencia because they were going to really take off with the juicing, and then it didn't quite happen that way, and they ripped out all their navel orange trees.
Yeah.
And they resent whoever gave them that advice now.
I would.
Yeah.
There was a big thing, I believe it was Australia, and this is still to do with business, but not to do with oranges. Did you hear about that crumble cookie thing?
No.
Do you know crumble cookies?
No.
Crumble cookies are like a brand of cookies, and they're really popular in America. And they like rotate the flavors like once a week. So people on TikTok will do a review of the box every week, and they come up with all kinds of like weird flavors. Like there's like a potato chip one.
Oh.
But it's got like icing on it. Apparently it's supposed to be quite good. But they review them everywhere. And in Australia, someone was like, we're starting a crumble cookies over here. Thousands of people went, cookies were stale, really expensive. And they were like, this is terrible. And it turns out it was just a kid from Australia who'd been on holiday to America, brought back loads of crumble cookies with them and just started a pop-up shop.
That's really smart.
Well, I think it's a worrying state of where young men think they need to be.
I don't know. I as long as he, sold his shares and fled the country by the time it caught up with him.
I don't think the pop-up became an IPO.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know if you believe this, but I'm not really a businessman.
What?
Yeah.
But you're wearing a hat.
I'm not really a businessman. I'm a businessman, but I'm not really not like a businessman.
You're a man who does business.
Yeah. These are some of the heaviest mics I've ever had to hold.
Do you know what? Maybe my wrist is just developed. Do you know what some guests do? Is like you can put the cushion on the front and then rest it on top of there.
I mean,
that's an option.
It's not too heavy to hold.
Yeah,
but it is just it's heavy enough that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
But I think, mate, you're right. That's on me.
Good.
My
on your toes.
underdeveloped wrists.
You are welcome to use two hands to hold the microphone.
Does feel way more, pious or religious or whatever. Just sort of. At this time, coming up to Jesus' birth, I think this makes sense.
Oh, someone will do a portrait of Jesus where it's two hands praying, but there's also a podcast mic in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I welcome that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good.
I think that'd be lovely.
I think it'd be, probably Ricky Gervais making a really strong point.
I've immediately gone off it now. I don't like it anymore.
What do you mean? That would be iconic.
Hey,
you put it up there with his atheist one. I think it'd be fantastic.
Listen, no, I agree with a lot of he says.
Yeah,
I do. But then I was kicked in the head by a horse.
Oh,
so
okay.
Now, so you fantasize about this when you've had an evening of drinking, and it's what you look forward to in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we've had drinks on this show before where we kind of have like a sort of medicinal relationship with them, when we feel like if we drink, it's going to make us better. So we had someone, we were talking about Lucozade once.
Oh, yeah.
And Lucozade is supposed to be like big medicinal vibes. People used to think it was like something you drink to feel better if you're unwell, if you got like a cold or the flu or something. Is it a bit of that?
I guess it probably is.
I guess if you had a cold or a flu, you'd want vitamin C as well.
What's a vitamin C? Man, I love how you English say vitamin.
Would you say vitamin?
Yeah, which I guess is wrong, but vitamin sounds sick. I love it. Vitamin. It makes things... Do you say et? I ate it? I ate a pie.
I ate a pie.
You say ate a pie. Who says et?
I ate a pie. People...
Oh,
people
okay.
who don't. This is why we don't give Claire a microphone. Because of all of her prejudices.
Yeah, deeply prejudiced person. I've seen that. I've seen that now. I hadn't noticed it before right now.
I know. Well, she's taken the balaclava off now, but how do you feel then?
Revealing the forehead tattoo, which really does spell it out, doesn't it?
We're actually,
quite literally,
the only reason we've started a supporter thing for this podcast is so we can pay for the laser tattoo removal. Yeah. When you have that first sip of OJ,
oh my God,
after... Like when you've been dreaming about it, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel fantastic. It makes me feel like really it just feels perfect. And I wish it could go on. The problem is it's going to end soon. And but I'll end up better than I began.
Yeah. Life is a journey.
That's right.
Do you ever, maybe this is like a twisted, wow.
Oh my God, it's probably from one of her hate groups. A message probably.
She started a Discord server herself.
Meeting tonight.
Is this a weird thing? Sometimes when I'm hungover and I'm absolutely gasping for water when I wake up, sometimes I just lie in bed, I'll scroll on my phone and I won't have any water. I'll keep myself thirsty so that when I do have a sip of water, it kind of feels like even better,
it means
but only because I feel worse.
You're edging thirst.
I'm edging thirst.
That's awesome.
Is that not normal?
No, I think that's great. It's like, yeah. What was that sex that Sting used to have? You're doing that. He'd wait.
Oh, vaginal.
It's like you're having vaginal
intercourse,
sex.
which is new for me.
Yeah.
Tantric sex, I believe it is,
yes,
where you you don't even touch each other.
Right. Well, that's what you're doing to the water.
It is. I'm having tantric water sex. Alone. I'm having a tantric water wank. Oh.
Yeah, man, you could do it in one of those isolation tanks, which was often in water, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, but then you'd be touching it.
And I don't think you drink that because I think it's full of like Epsom salts and stuff so that you float.
Right.
So if you drank it, I think you just get thirstier.
Yeah. Which would probably make it even better once you reach your wet climate.
Depends if I finish the tank. They close the door and then open up again. And then they go like, did you forget to put water in here? Also, where's the toilet? I really need to go. Well, lovely. Well, I'd say I kind of like that it's thick, this orange juice.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's good. It's drinkable. Very drinkable. I feel like I'm talking about it like a wine.
Yeah.
It's drinkable. It's drinkable.
And I think that is really the baseline for a beverage.
For most liquids, except, bleach, petrol.
Epsom salted water.
You're right. Well, we've got a drink going. And dare I say it, the chat's really flowing. Shall we talk about your topic? Because I feel like that's what's going to kill the chat, because I don't know anything about any of what's about to happen.
Okay.
Your topic is St. Kilda?
Yeah.
St. Kilda Football Club.
That's right.
Now, I didn't know until about 20 minutes before the pod started that FC stands for Football Club.
Okay.
I didn't know.
What, like in general?
I just didn't know.
So when you hear things like Arsenal FC, you'd be like, I wonder what that is.
I just sort of, I lose control. My eyes lose focus, and I just sort of, I just go a bit like that.
Right. What about like one of the great local teams, the Hearts FC?
Well, see, I have to know about those two so that, like, I don't get pumped. No, I don't mean pumped.
You mean punched?
Punched.
Yeah. Pumped? Yeah.
I also don't want to get pumped. I mean, but by my husband, that's fine. But not by strangers.
I'm trying to make that very clear, and I think
let's make that clear. Actually,
that was without wink, wasn't it? Look how wide the eyes are. Actually, they're not that wide. That's a semi-wink, I think.
It's my first time winking on camera. What I'm saying is, football and most sports in general, not my thing, but I can support someone who is passionate about it. We've talked about football in general on the part. In fact, it was the very first episode we talked about football. But you're talking about a specific football club, and this is an Aussie rules football club. Now, what is the difference, dare I ask, between good old British soccer and Aussie rules football? I know the ball is a different
Ball's
shape.
different.
Yeah.
The field's different.
It's like you can play it on sort of like a cricket ground kind of thing.
That's how it was invented, to keep cricketers fit in the winter time.
Oh, really?
So that's why they played on cricket fields, and they still do that. So the big AFL game of the year every year is played at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Right.
And it always has, well, pretty much always has been.
Uh-huh.
Even though that's a weird advantage now that it's a national game. But I don't want to get into the politics of it.
I guess
But, teams from Adelaide and Perth, they don't like that. And I think fair enough.
They don't like that the final's in Melbourne?
Yeah, because they'll often have to play a Melbourne team.
Right.
Which is a bit of an unfair advantage.
Oh, well, sport in that way is very unfair.
Yeah.
That's why the UK does so well at Olympic sports like dressage, yingling.
Yeah. Yachts.
Yeah, yachts.
Is that a sport? Yachts.
You can make it a sport.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people for landlocked countries, what are they going to be doing with a canoe? They don't.
Yeah.
They don't need it.
That's right. The horse that's a pretty big barrier to entry. Just being able to afford a horse.
Yeah, I do think there's like, is it the modern pentathlon where you have to do a dressage event, but you don't provide the horse yourself. You get a random horse.
That's what it should always be.
I know.
That's so weird. They should all be. Don't you think they should all be like cloned from one horse? So everyone has the exact same horse. Putting aside the scientific sort of ethical problems there.
Yes, but I mean, you got to have a bit of like drama.
Oh, true.
Because
someone gets the dud.
The horse race...
Should there always be a donkey or something like that? So you draw the short straw, you get the donkey.
Or not even like an equine.
Oh, yeah.
Someone gets a bear.
Oh, my God.
Someone gets a bear.
All of a sudden, I'm watching the Olympics.
I'm so into the modern heptathlon.
Yeah.
Good for them, because that's the one where there's shooting as well.
Yes.
If you ever come from a country where there's lots of guns.
Is the bear going to be tamed, or is it going to be a wild bear? Can you tame a bear?
I have in the past. Felt like I should wink with both eyes for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know what? I think let's go to the IOC and say, listen, we need a couple of wild cards in that modern heptathlon horse pick.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. It's like, let's say 6 of them. You can keep those as like regular horses. That's fine. No problem. We'll do one bear. And then maybe, I don't know, Kevin Spacey?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like a real wild one.
So someone has to ride Kevin Spacey for Olympic gold.
Yeah, like a piggyback. Like and they have to like...
He is looking for a path back to Hollywood, isn't he? So
yeah,
maybe
and he'd do it as well.
Do you think that's his way back?
Yeah.
Redemption arc via
if you told him it was
dressage.
some art house Italian film that he was doing, rather than... please be at the Olympics, we'll give you a sugar lump,
Yeah. I think that could work. I mean, because Robbie Williams is a chimpanzee in a new movie. I mean, how many steps away from that is Kevin Spacey as a horse in the Olympics?
Oh, Robbie Williams.
Oh, what did I say? Robin Williams.
I thought you said... No, maybe you did say Robbie Williams. I
do get
heard
those two
Robin
confused.
Williams. And I was like, Mrs. Doubtfire 2, where he's a chimpanzee, but he's dead as well.
That's why they have to do CGI.
Yeah. Don't you just love modern cinema?
Yeah, it's really good. They're bringing them all back.
They're bringing them all back.
Chimp Robin Williams.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey dressage.
Yeah, so good.
We simply must continue to talk about what you actually chose to talk about.
We don't need to, but we can. I think bucking bronco is the obvious one as well. As one of the wild card horses.
Oh, but see, how does that move though? Do you mean like a mechanical bull?
No, I mean like
like an actual bucking bronco.
You know those mechanical bulls? They're based on real life bulls.
Like what?
Yeah, I know. I know you said you weren't into sport, but I thought.
I'm also not into animals. I'm not into Robbie Williams, apparently. Well, no. So, okay. So it's a real bucking bronco. I'm fine
you
with
get it from a rodeo or whatever.
Yeah.
Or a rodeo, you probably say, do you?
I think I say rodeo.
You say words different.
No, I'd only say rodeo if it's that place in America, Rodeo Drive.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I'd say Rodeo Drive. Just
that does make it way fancier, actually.
Rodeo Drive.
Oh, I'm wandering down Rodeo Drive. Well, you wouldn't say wandering, though. What would you say?
I'm promenading.
Oh, my God. That is so good. Holy shit.
I think you think I'm much fancier than I actually
Promenading
am.
is very fancy, though. That confirmed it. If you said something like, like mucking along or something, that would have confirmed the other way.
It's probably one of the biggest words that I know, like one of the fanciest words I know. Sometimes when I use a big word, my friends will look at me like they just saw a dog stand up on 2 legs, and they go like, "Oh,
good on you!
You don't normally do that."
Give you a biscuit.
I wish they gave me a biscuit. I love biscuits.
How good are biscuits?
They are actually.
You should do a spin-off version of this with solids.
I've had a solid. I mean, eventually we will run out of drinks.
Yeah.
And then, the world of solids. And then we'll finish solids and we'll be like, I've had a gas. Everyone inhale some helium. Or like there's the carbon monoxide episode. That's a bonus episode.
My God, Yeah.
Yeah.
Laughing gas. That would be fun.
Should we get you on as a creative consultant? We're coming up with some solid ideas.
Great. Yes.
Absolutely solid ideas. Yeah. Right. Let's talk about this team, because I do like to see people when they're passionate about something, even if it's a sports team. So I don't think there's any point in explaining the difference between the sports to me, but I can just appreciate it's a sport.
I think they evolved out of the same place, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
it's like a team sport. You get behind a team, I assume, and you follow that team's... I assume it's like a year-round league thing.
Yeah, it's a winter sport. There's like 20 23,
Is it
24
only,
rounds.
is Aussie rules only winter?
Yeah, so it starts in autumn and ends in spring, but it's basically a winter sport.
Oh, does everyone not get nippy?
Yeah, well, it can do. Yeah, in Melbourne and in Tassie, it's definitely pretty.
What's
Can get wet.
what would
The Saints' home ground has a roof, though. To be honest, so
Oh, okay, we should stop complaining.
we should stop complaining.
We should. You should actually.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What would one wear to play a game?
They wear short shorts and like sort of like sleeveless vest things they call them jerseys or guernseys after your islands up here.
They don't call them Guernseys.
Yeah, they call them jerseys or guernseys because that's where the wool used to come from or something.
I feel like that is true.
It is. Yeah, that is true.
A Guernsey.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the expression to have a gurn?
No.
It's where you like. It's sort of like where you're. I don't know how to do it. We might have to Google a photo so you can see. But it's like a thing that you do with your mouth.
Oh.
Sort of like a.
Oh.
That's a gurn. But you know when
And
you're
that
waking.
comes from Guernsey?
Might do. You know when you wake up from your hangover and you're absolutely frothing up for an OJ.
And you remember you bought one last night
if
on the
your
way home.
face is like sort of like having a physical reaction to not having the OJ yet, that's.
Oh, it looks like you were
Yeah.
happy. You weren't happy. The gurn is unhappy. You look like you're really happy when you're gurning.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I haven't been told that before.
Haven't you?
No, but I've always thought.
It's real. Like, you look beyond excited.
So this team, St. Kilda, why is this? Is this like?
So
Is this a hometown connection? Is it just the team you
yeah,
follow?
it's a hometown connection. So I grew up in the suburb of Moorabbin, which is suburb of Melbourne, but
Right.
they relocated from St. Kilda, which is another suburb of Melbourne, to Moorabbin.
Okay.
And St. Kilda, that's like it's a really shitty beach, but it's sort of like our Brighton. St.
I was
Kilda.
just gonna say,
The
so it's like a
pier and all that
pebbly-
sort of stuff. It's sand, but it's not as bad as English beaches, but it's pretty gross.
Okay. Well, no, I'm from Cornwall, so we actually have the nice beaches.
Oh, okay.
Where like they do like the Boardmasters surfing competitions and stuff.
Gotcha.
But then you get further up
Also,
the country.
the pasties as well.
Pasties.
Yeah, you have pasties there. I had a Cornish pasty a couple of days ago. It wasn't in Cornwall, though, admittedly. You're not happy with it? Is it pasties?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god, pasties! Do you eat a pasty?
No.
No, you don't eat. You don't eat.
a pasty.
Right.
Yeah. But you enjoyed
What kind of vitamins does a pasty have?
what vitamins does the pasty have?
I mean, it doesn't. Like, I'm not standing. I'm not making fun. I'm loving it. It seems like
It's the quirk of language.
I cannot. I obviously don't have a leg to stand on making fun of how anyone talks. I'm not at all making fun. I just really enjoy it. I love how
I
words are
think
said
we're
differently.
enjoying the process of discovery.
Pasty.
Pasty. Yeah.
Pasty. I love that.
A pasty.
Pasty.
Did you enjoy the pasty?
I love the pasty.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
You can't really get them anywhere but like a good one. You can't really get them anywhere but Cornwall.
Yeah, I believe that mine wouldn't have been. It was from a company calling themselves Cornwall Pasty.
Was it the
Pasties.
West Cornwall Pasty Company?
Yeah, it might have been. And I was at a train station. So I imagine they could be better than that.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
Like that is the equivalent of like thick Gregg's juice
Yes.
and then a
Just
proper
like
Cornish
squeezing
pasty.
an orange.
Yeah,
straight in your mouth.
You ever seen those videos on TikTok that are obviously fake, but someone like cuts open like the most ripe, juicy
Oh, yeah.
orange, and just like
Yeah. That's my dreams.
yeah. And so this team are they good at the sport? Are they
No,
underdogs?
They're the underdog team probably, or one
Right.
of. They were formed in 1873 and have won one premiership.
And that's bad.
That's bad. One in 150 years or whatever. That's pretty bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
and was the year that they
historically
won?
bad.
Did everyone just like forget the final was on and just didn't show up?
Well, it was before my time, unfortunately. But no, there was a big crowd. It was like 110,000 or whatever at the game.
That's so many people.
Yeah, a lot of people. But unfortunately, before my time, so I've never seen.
You've never seen them at that peak.
Yeah,
Is it like how many teams are in like the league?
there's 18 now,
Right.
and there'll be 19 soon. Tasmania's getting their first they're getting a team.
Good for them.
Which will finally mean that more than half the teams are from outside of Victoria and Melbourne. Yeah.
Right.
Because it started as the Victorian Football League, and then in 1990 it became the AFL.
It wasn't when it was
new teams brought in.
When it was just the Victoria. They didn't call it the VFL, did they?
Yeah. Well, does that mean someone else?
Does that not mean something like visible fanny line or something?
Oh.
It's a VPL, visible panty line.
Or visible penis line?
Sure.
Yeah.
Visible fanny line. So you've just coined that, have you?
Add it to the list next to Kevin Spacey. No, I just so that's good. So that there's more diversity in where the teams come from.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of thing where do kids grow up dreaming of being like a football player?
Yeah,
the same way, because like obviously football's a huge part of British culture.
Yeah, it is.
Is it
It'd
the
be
same
very
over there?
similar. It's the biggest spectator sport, like live spectator sport in Australia. But there are two, Sydney State, New South Wales and Queensland, where Brisbane is, they're more into rugby league. And then the rest of Australia's into Aussie rules.
See, I thought rugby was the bigger deal.
Yeah, well, because it is in Sydney, which is sort of, from outside of Australia, Sydney is Australia, right? Sydney and Uluru, that's Australia. But
Right, okay. Oh, I've never been to Australia. I've
yeah, no,
still
but
not
that's what I
gone,
mean.
but
From the outside, because of course, they're the two iconic parts.
Yeah, I only know I only know places if they turn up in Eurovision or RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
So now that there's a RuPaul's Drag Race down under.
Yeah, Reece Nicholson.
Yeah, lovely.
Well, they're from New South Wales. They're from Newcastle, so
Right.
I don't think they're a big fan, but they would have been more of a rugby league. That's a big rugby league town growing up where Reece is from.
Right. Fair enough. But I've heard of all kinds of places like
But Reece's partner,
Oh, yes.
Kyron, he's from Perth, big
Stop
Aussie
it.
rules fan.
okay.
Yeah.
So
So it's a star-crossed
it's a tense relationship.
star-crossed lovers sort of thing. Yeah.
Montagues and Capulets.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay.
I've never talked about that with them, but you can only assume that would be a cause of tension.
Well, do you know what? We'll send them a message and see if we can get them on.
Great. Yeah, I think
We'll get
so.
them both on at the same time.
figure
and see
it
what
out.
happens. Yeah. What is is there like a star player of the team?
Oh yeah, there's star players, and there normally are. Yeah, for sure. That's such
but
a
I
great
mean-
question. Is there a star player?
Well, like
Because
who's like
they're much bigger teams than most sports. There's 18 players on the field, and then
Yeah.
another 4 or 5 on the bench. Because there's some.
Yes, I know, I
sometimes
understand
there's-
a bench.
Yeah, so there'll be like 23 selected players each week, and the list will have. So
Is that
it's not
because, like-
as like a basketball team. The star is so clearly the star. They're one of 5.
I guess
But you
like,
have
is there like a I don't know, like a Kobe Bryant of
Yeah,
AFL?
yeah. There probably is.
but not to you.
Well, I don't know. There's always a big star. I can't.
Yeah.
But a few of them are retired recently. The Saints probably, they've got good players, but they don't have the Kobe Bryant, which is although they, in the past
If they did have Kobe
Plugger
Bryant.
is the biggest ever goal scorer, and he
Oh.
played for the Saints.
How does one score a goal?
They've got to kick it. It's got to come off from below your knee, technically, but usually your foot, and go through the 2 big sticks. So there's no net. It's
Okay.
just sticks that go up, and if you kick it over those at any point without it being touched on the way through, it's a goal. There's no goalkeeper.
And when you say it has to, so as in like you have to kick it, you can't
kick it, yeah.
You can't throw it.
No,
is what
that's
you mean.
right.
Okay, right.
So yeah, so like the best players can kick it 50 plus meters through the goals.
That's quite far.
Yeah.
That's 2 swimming pools.
I as a kid, I arrogantly assumed I could do that too, and you used to, and still sometimes you can go out onto the ground after the game. And I remember when I was like 9, I went up to the 50-meter line and just go kick a goal, and it's
Just do it.
yeah. Turns
Yeah.
out it is harder to kick that far.
Is it?
Yeah. I reckon I probably would have needed 10 goes to make the distance. You probably could do it quicker than that, but these days, though, I probably only
No, I'm impressed at
7 or
10.
8,
If you treat it like a game of golf,
yeah.
number of
That's
strokes.
the par.
Yeah. So who is the best player on your team then? On St.
Right
Kilda?
now, Probably maybe Jack Sinclair. Is this going to mean anything to you?
Of course not.
Yeah, I'd say maybe Jack Sinclair. Rowan
But what
Marshall,
you're
our
doing
ruckman,
is
is pretty.
you're giving me ammunition the next time I'm in a
yeah.
conversation with somebody, then I can just go like, yeah, St. Kilda's my St. Kilda FC. Yeah, that one. Yeah. And you know who I like? That Jack Sinclair.
Yeah.
I just think he's got the right attitude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you'd like him as well.
Why?
Because he's really good.
Is he just like, is he like
Running,
a
very
nice person as
creative.
well?
I think he seems like a really good guy.
Well, that's good. That is what I want. That's one of the things that I think stops me from getting into football is that a lot of the stuff I know about football is from
Yeah.
tabloids. So it's always
Yes.
like so-and-so's having another affair.
Yes.
So-and-so's like had like a driving under the influence, so on and so forth. If there was one who was just like, are we like in his spare time? It just does puzzles.
Yeah, I think I don't know
Yeah.
about puzzles, but I think
But
he
just
does
something,
seem like,
like, wholesome.
He does seem like a wholesome guy. But I mean, you know,
He might have
you
killed.
you set yourself up like that, don't you, for
Yeah.
heartbreak?
I guess so.
Next thing, before this episode comes out, there's going to be news, and it's even going to make it over here.
And you know
Jack
what?
Sinclair, mass murderer.
None of us are going to check.
No.
Quick, someone set up a Google that for Jack Sinclair.
I will let you know.
Please do.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he feels like he's pure.
Like pure. Okay, see, pure is like good. I would like him to stay that way. Then, as in, like, you know, when it's just sort of like you're so lovely. Let's sort of protect you a little bit. Stop anyone from corrupting you.
There was a real cute thing a couple of years ago. He did this interview where he writes notes on his hand before the games, like,
Oh yeah.
like look after your teammates and be a good leader and stuff. I'm like, oh man, what a lovely
That's
fella. Although it is
so
funny,
lovely.
it is lovely, but it is also like, what? Do you need a reminder too? But also, it's like talk up and stuff. Like,
Do you know what?
believe in yourself.
Sometimes it's not a reminder. It's stopping you from forgetting.
Yes. That's a good point, man. That is a way more positive way to frame it. Thank you so much. But yes.
And I'm guessing they're not wearing gloves, so he can like read it like it's a bare hand.
Imagine he does that and puts a glove on.
And they're like silk opera gloves as well.
Oh my gosh. So you do watch the game. The jumpers are very silky now. They don't make them out of Guernsey wool anymore.
No.
They're very synthetic, sort of slick, shiny kind of material.
I hope it's still breathable. I imagine they'll get
Surely,
warm.
yeah. Well, it's winter.
Good, very good point. They've thought about this.
And
then.
it is like, for them, nearly no one wears long sleeves. They're all sort of, arms are free. And
As it should be.
yeah, shorts are very short. So there's like, they're very breathable because, you know, it's not covering that much. You know, when you get cold on your body and but your arms are nice and warm. It's like that, I guess.
Kind of. If I get cold, I feel it in my feet more than my upper body.
Oh, and you stepped in a snowy puddle today.
It's all right. My shoes are heating up.
Great. You know,
and my socks are dry now.
I think St. Kilda might even be, it's named after like a Scottish ship or something.
Really?
I don't know if, do you have, is Claire available to Google things?
Claire, could you Google?
I don't know. I should have checked that before now. But I think there was like a ship. It was an island maybe or a ship. It's a place, okay.
Ah,
But then
well,
I think there was a ship from there that maybe, I don't know. But for some reason it goes, and it's not actually, I don't think it's St. Kilda because there was no St. Kilda. The Saint or the Saint comes from something
Street
else.
Kilda.
Street Kilda.
Street Kilda.
It's named after a ship, the Lady
Oh.
of St. Kilda.
Ah.
This ship, in turn, is named after the area in Scotland.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
So it actually really comes right back
What a
here.
lovely twinning connection.
Twinning.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
When you watch a game, then how often do you? I assume, so the league must be on right now. Then
No, because it's not winter in Australia. Where it's
That's
played on
what
the
it
other side of the world.
the other way round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That what? When you did say a big word before, it was impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm really quite thick.
No, don't look. It's really nice to meet an equal, a mental equal. That's something that I would say. I love it. Actually, it's made me feel really comfortable.
Well, there you go. There you
But
go.
you know, yeah, so it's off season now. They just had the
Yeah.
draft. So when you're talking about before, kids, like all the 17, 18-year-olds.
I've heard about this with American football. And it's like a huge thing, and it goes through round after round after round, and you wonder what team you're going to get picked for, and like so on and so forth. Is that like a big day then in the in the sport?
They've split it up over a few days now. They do the top or the first round, which is normally 20-ish picks.
Yeah,
and that's like the big night, the first night where the number one pick and everything, and then a second night where they do it again, just because they've figured out that football fans, and I think the sports fans in general, just the off season is where the media can get their clicks. That's where they sell ads and stuff. Because
get the clickbait out.
Because of the grand final, there's two teams who fans give a shit about it. But pre-season, everyone's like, it could be us.
Right,
We might be about to pick the player who finally gets us there.
Such a good point. Because
Isn't it
by that
funny?
point, yeah. I do want to, because like the only, and I said this in the football episode, the closest thing that I can match with passion, and not even now anymore because I boycotted it this year, but Eurovision. Loved a bit of Eurovision, and that's kind of fun because there's in the final usually 26 countries,
Right.
and like especially for the smaller countries, even though statistically it's unlikely for them, they still go into it thinking, hey, we made the final, we could do this.
Yeah, grand final with that many
Yeah.
entrants, it's way better.
Yeah.
Did you boycott it because of Australia? Because I think it's making a mockery a bit, isn't it?
I didn't not boycott. No, I love Australia being in Eurovision. I really do, because they were included. Is that the Flash? Lovely. She gives us a flash at 40, so we know where we
You
are.
always try
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
it so subtly, and you always point it out.
Because I want people to know that Claire, as the producer of the podcast, does do stuff.
But also, I think
Yeah.
you just subconsciously don't want to take responsibility for ending this. You want to put that on a
Do you know what?
Claire.
That's very valid, actually. But then I was the one who said, "Give me the Flash app." Like she's doing it because I told her to do it.
Because they can't see. It is like, it's not like lifting up the shirt kind of flash. It's a...
No, but do you know what? Sometimes we do make that
Okay.
joke. We go like, "Oh, she's got them out again." By which I mean the tattoos on her forehead.
Yes. And it is hard to look away from.
It's hard to look
be honest.
away. No, I boycotted for a different reason.
Really?
Yeah. It was quite a
Was
thing,
it
but-
because of last year's result didn't go the way you were hoping?
No, I mean, I have
It's
said
probably-
some
is it-
pretty
is it-
wild stuff on
Is it
Twitter.
Israel? Yeah, I thought...
And also how this whole event was handled. And also I think their
I
treatment...
missed all that. So Israel was in... Or
They
was it
were in
hosted there? Or?
No, they would. It was just that they were in it,
Yeah.
and also that they, the delegation, because like each country sends like the act plus like a team of people to like manage everything, manage the staging and stuff. The Israeli delegation maybe weren't behaving well.
Oh.
And then also like there's other stuff like there are a couple of non-binary people who competed, and the winner's non-binary. And at the start of Eurovision, everyone walks out with their country's flag. And then they also waved a non-binary flag to be like, "Woo!" And the Eurovision people said, you actually can't do that. So they had to sneak the flag in with them. And then when they won, the day after, the Eurovision Twitter account tweeted out, all this non-binary finery. And I was kind of like, well, you can't just say that you're okay with it now that this person has won. You should have been okay with it
Yeah,
before.
that's strange.
So like they just don't, they want to stay out of anything political.
Right.
And I think they, I think they need to have some kind of moral.
And also, it's
values.
basically impossible to do because sometimes not doing anything is political. But yeah, it is funny how those
Yeah.
flags they do trigger some. In Australia, it's the
Some people-
Indigenous athletes will have the Australian flag with the Union Jack on it and everything. And the Aboriginal flag.
Right.
Which is this great looking flag. And it really winds people right up.
People fucking go mental over a flag.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. What was I originally asking? So, I remember now. Sorry, I brought Eurovision into it, which I often do. I was going to ask, like, how often you actually get to go and like watch a game, because I was going to ask, like, how do you feel when you're watching a game, especially when you're watching your team play?
Pretty tense, but you know, it's I picked this. The reason I picked the Saints was because the list of emotions that were mentioned.
You go through a lot.
You go through them all, yeah. Yeah, it's sort of anxiety, but it can be like it's a great, which is so funny because it's something that has nothing to do with me. I'm
Yeah.
watching strangers play a game, it's quite bizarre that I can feel nearly every emotion based on
Yeah.
how they do. But yeah, I guess I was sort of brought into it as a kid,
Right.
and I think as I get older, I'm trying to be more rational about it. I'm not letting it used to, like, there was a time in like my teens and early 20s where it would ruin my weekend if they lost, which is like so silly.
If you care
looking back.
about it.
Yeah. But ideally you'd let yourself feel bad for a bit, but don't, if it's on Saturday, don't feel bad on Sunday.
It's like if you have like a gig that hasn't gone well.
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel like I really fucked that up. And then you can give yourself like 24 hours to feel bad about it. And then, right.
But at least then it's your fault,
Oh, that's so true.
Unless, like, often it is the audience just weren't up to it,
Yeah.
Which I don't normally have bad gigs. I have bad audiences sometimes.
It's an audience of Kevin Spacey's and not a single James Sinclair. Was that his name?
Jack Sinclair. That's really good.
Oh, I nearly remembered.
Yeah. I mean, if you just say Sinclair, Sinclair.
Sinclair. Just go by last name.
Yeah.
Do they have the last names on the back of the Guernseys?
No, there's a push for that, but...
really?
But it's funny talking about... the Saints started with playing Sydney with a Pride game where they'd wear like rainbow socks or whatever.
Yeah.
And just like we're talking about the backlash
Did
from
people have an
certain
issue
areas,
with that?
like, just concentrate on winning the game. It's like they think that the people who design the socks will somehow have taken their eyes off the strategy of football. Like, it's a different team. The social media people aren't in the coach's box.
I do.
You're about to say they should focus on football?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say that the rainbow flag is quite garish. You notice it.
Yeah.
So you could. Hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Hey, what? I can't say anything anymore. You could be like, oh no, I'm worried they'll get distracted because suddenly everyone's legs are rainbows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you are, yeah. They could, the Saints have nearly never won the Pride game, so maybe there's something in it.
Is it just the one game that's the Pride game?
Yeah, so each year, one time that the Saints play the Swans, who are Sydney.
Right.
That's
Is
like
it
the
always
annual
those
Pride
two
game.
teams?
Yeah.
And why? What makes it the Pride game?
Those two clubs came together to start it, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. What is it? The same player? Like, I assume there isn't like a gay league.
No. Oh, I don't.
Maybe there is.
No, maybe there is.
Because we have like gay rugby clubs. I know that in the UK we have gay rugby clubs like the Bristol Bisons.
It's a little bit backwardy. Only in the way that there's never been an out gay.
I was going to
footballer,
ask because that's the same
which
in
seems
most
like
places.
Seems unlikely that. So no one's felt comfortable yet.
I mean, if you've seen their socks, I mean.
But there's also apparently they reckon that the pressure of being the first is so much on your shoulders. So once the first person does come out, it will
be a.
Whereas the women's competition is like, it's almost the joke is that you'd have to come out as straight. It's like a much more open and supportive competition.
I love that though. I love a lesbian. I just do.
Well, you should get AFLWs.
Maybe I'll get into that.
Yeah.
AFLW.
Saints have a team there as well, and they play Moorabbin still. No, they're also not too good.
Okay,
but they're building. You want to get on at the ground level.
So true.
Like if you jump down on a team that's already winning,
you don't get on at like fifth floor menswear.
No,
you start at the bottom.
Yeah, what are you climbing up outside?
Hey, where is the cafe?
Yeah. Top floor, going up.
I've decided it's a department store that we're trying to get to the top of, which is actually quite easy.
John Smith's? Is that one of yours?
John Smith's?
That's a beer.
John Lewis.
John Lewis, yeah.
No, J-Lo.
M&S.
Is it? John Smith is... I thought you said it's also a shopping centre. You said Prime Minister. It was a Prime Minister as well. It is a beer.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
It's
Claire, can you just let men be men, please?
It's very smooth beer as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I ordered one. And the people around me laughed because English people said that's an old man's beer.
What's wrong with that though? You like what you like,
It was really nice.
and you get good for you. That's your version of the Pride match.
Yeah.
Going into a bar unashamed and ordering a John Smith. And do you know what? No, I support that actually. I'm an ally.
I'm gonna. Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you? What are the John Smith's colours? We'll get them worked into some socks
Is
for you.
it the beer?
Yeah.
Brown, probably.
Brown. You're gonna wear. We'll get you some brown socks.
Do you know what? I've already got a pair.
There you go. Solidarity.
I own many
That
socks.
means a lot, actually.
Honestly.
Thank you so much.
No, it's the least I can do, and the most I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we could genuinely we could keep talking about the AFL for I don't know, maybe like 10 more minutes, but we have to wrap up.
I really feel like we've covered it.
I think so too. Do you know what? I might give a match a watch just to see
It's
like
a
what the
fun
game
game
is
to
like.
watch.
It seems like it would be from what you've said. Also,
No offside, so it's sort of like a 360
I
degree
do struggle.
game.
I do struggle with
It's
that.
better to be at the game, to be honest.
Now,
TV is not ideal for it.
I've not just whipped out my phone just because I got bored, and I feel like I have to make that clear to every guest. The last part of the show is something that we call quick fire feelings,
Yeah.
and all it is I've got a list of 5 random things that I'm going to just ask. How do you feel about this thing?
And I don't think just say,
just
feel.
say. Doesn't have to be one word. I just want to know your honest feelings.
One
okay?
word.
No, it doesn't have to be one word.
So it could be 2 words.
It can be as many words as you like.
Up to 3.
If you're feeling like, yeah, go on.
Getting a bit verbose.
How do you feel about dark chocolate?
Love it.
You love it.
Makes me feel really good. Makes me feel. That makes me feel. That's like on the couch
Yeah?
watching Poirot.
Ooh.
Cup of tea, bit of dark chocolate.
How Belgian.
Oh yeah, it's
Very Belgian.
yeah, it is a very Belgian night.
Very
isn't it?
Belgian night in.
Very Belgian. The tea's also Belgian, I should say. I hadn't made that connection. I didn't think about
No,
it.
it's the classic. You're having a night in and you turn to your partner and you go, should we get a Belgian?
Should we get a Belgian? Should we go full Belgian?
Yeah.
Never go full Belgian, but all right, it's too late. now.
Oh, come on, we deserve a treat. How do you feel about fanny packs?
Fanny packs, I think they're good. You know?
Yeah?
I think they're good. I don't know what they're like here, but they're worn quite a bit in Australia now. For a while, it made you assume drug dealer, but now it's sort of just like it could be anyone
Quite
just
trendy.
keeping their stuff in it.
See, I actually wasn't talking about the item. I'm just talking about a woman called Fanny Packs.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
Fanny packs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because fanny, that's an American thing anyway, isn't it?
The fanny, yeah.
So
I
fanny
don't know
a fanny pack's like that would be in America
Yeah.
that's a bum bag, but here that would be a front bag. Wouldn't it?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That makes you think, doesn't it?
I think actually what we call
I've
it.
just scratched my nose. Hopefully that can show up on the cameras.
Yeah.
I scratched my nose by
I don't think we call it a front. I don't think we call it a front bag. I think we call it a cunt pouch.
cunt pouch. That's a winker.
That's a winker.
That's a winker. A cunt pouch.
How do you feel about?
Hey, that sounds Let's let someone have
Yeah.
a big sip of a John Smith. All right, bring you.
There's none behind the bar. Don't worry, I've got a can in my cunt pouch. How do you feel about Qbert? Do you remember him?
Gooding Jr. Did you say Cuba?
Qbert.
Oh, Qbert.
Yeah.
The video game.
Yes.
I only know of him because of a very good film called Pixels with Adam Sandler. It's not a good film, but
I don't think I've seen it. I
But
think he's
anyway-
in Wreck-It Ralph as well.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking. One of those could be, and it's like a guy with a trumpet nose.
Yes, and you can only go. It's like isometric. You can only sort of like go diagonally up and down these blocks.
It
of
is.
stairs
This
and
is
stuff.
a bit of a coincidence, but you know, when I said I was on the couch having chocolate, I was
Yeah.
picturing Qbert there with me.
a big trumpet. Like
Yeah, snorting
Snorting tea.
snorting
Chocolate.
Belgian tea.
How do you feel about Academy Award winner Brad Pitt?
Well, I'd say I didn't realize. Is this a gotcha moment?
No.
Because that. No, I'm joking. But I did until recently just unabashedly enjoy
Yeah.
his work. But things have got more complex recently based on the allegations and whatnot.
Are there allegations?
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just the way he didn't treat Angelina Jolie super well. His kids hate him.
Oh, really?
They're all like estranged from him, and they say that he was a bad dad, bad husband.
I had no idea about any of this. Do we have to cut this out? No. If he's done all those things, what a bad person.
Allegedly.
More like Bad Pitt. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, it's a shame because I liked his acting. I'm not always the best at separating the art and the artist.
How do you feel about fencing?
Fencing. That feels like I can picture you doing it. I've never done it. It feels very British to me.
Oh, I see. You
Yeah.
can picture me with a sword.
Yeah, oh yeah.
An épée.
And you know, one of those
A big
beekeeper masks
with a metal thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Have you not?
I think I had it on the Wii. It was a fencing game on the Wii, but the swords were made of balloons.
That's fun.
Yeah,
You're
nobody
trying to
gets
pop
hurt.
each other.
You're still trying to hit each other, but like not actually hit each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny that they did that. The
It's a
world's gone
laugh.
mad.
Nintendo, they love a laugh.
You can't do anything anymore. Even
You can't.
hit each other with Are they even sharp like a fencing sword? I thought they were just like bits of
There's
You can
usually
whack
like
each
a
other,
little
but not-
cap thing on the end, which is why when you get like jabbed with one, the thing bends.
Right.
Yeah. But it's also like your suit is like, I think, hooked up to some kind of circuit so that when the sword makes contact, it sets off the buzzer so the judges know that
Really?
you landed a hit.
It doesn't feel like such a modern sport, but that must be.
Well, I guess anything is modern if you wire it to the national grid.
That's such a great point. I never thought of
Yeah.
it like that.
Yeah. And amazingly, we have to end there.
That feels like the best
That
spot to
feels
end.
like the best place that we
End
could
at the
stop,
peak.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of the peak.
End of the peak.
Have you enjoyed yourself? It's been a lovely experience having you here.
It's been so nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
You should come do my podcast.
I'll think about it. Before we let you go, is there anything that you'd like to plug for our listeners? Where can they find you? What have you got coming up?
I'll be doing like Melbourne Comedy Festival next year. I don't know.
We have listeners in Australia.
Yeah, Melbourne Comedy Festival, Adelaide Fringe, Brisbane Comedy Festival, I think.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. MattStewartComedy.com. But
Lovely.
I got a podcast, recorded a bunch over here in the UK. We're about to do an episode live at the Barrel of Monkeys. The
Barrel
Monkey
of
Barrel.
Monkeys.
The Monkey Barrel. And yeah, it's called Who Knew It with Matt Stewart.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be a bit of fun. I think you're going to be really good at it, actually.
I think I'm going to have a laugh, but I also want to win.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm there for a good time and like a serious time. Like John Smith.
I wish I picked John Smith. Man, I wish I was having a John Smith right now.
Fine. Well, lovely. Definitely go follow Matt, and you can follow the show at I've Had a Rosé, where you can find clips, content, and access to all of our supporter things if you want bonus content. If not, we'll see you again for another episode very soon. Goodbye.